7.6. I know you had homework on Pythagorean theorem, and you did that homework, hopefully. And hopefully with that you were able to accomplish the goals, do what we were trying to accomplish here. So today we're going to talk about the area of a circle. Now, we do know this. We know that the circumference of a circle is pi d or 2 pi r, okay? So in other words, we know that radius is 2 radii equals d, okay? So those are the things we already know. We're going to learn a couple new things and try to tie it all together for you. All right, so area of a circle. The equation you're going to be learning is pi r squared. So what's going to happen, so if you're doing a problem, so let's say that this is my circle, I want the area of this whole area. The radius is 5. So area equation, pi r squared, pi times 5 squared, 25 pi, and that's your answer. So we all know that pi is equal to 3.1415. When you do math in my class, you can leave it like this. If they ask for the decimal, please use just 3.14. So 25 times 3.14. But that's all you're having to do. So let's say that they give you another problem. Okay, diameter is 10. Well, what's my radius? If the diameter is 10, what's my radius, Johan? So the whole thing's 10. Remember, what's my equation? Here we go, 10. And so my radius is going to be what? 2 times 5. Good, good. So if this is 5, what's my answer? Area equals pi 5 squared, 25 pi. Okay? All right, so any questions on how to solve for that, whether you have the radius or the diameter? Questions? Okay, good. Next thing that they will teach you is also using your radiuses. Okay? So the other thing you need to learn about circles is what a sector is. Okay? Segment. Okay? So we're going to learn a sector and a segment. And one other thing is a central angle. So 3 more definitions. So we have 3 things we're going to learn. Look at our drawing here. Let's say. So make sure you can see this here. I think you should be able to. Oh, perfect. That's awesome. All right, now. So when we draw this, we have a couple things that have been created. We see that we have an angle. And what is that? That's the center point. So a central angle is an angle that intersects where? In the center. It's an angle, intersects in the center. Okay, so let's say this is 50. Well, then there's your answer. That's the angle. Okay, so the angle, the intersect is 50. All right. Any questions on that? Okay, everybody so far good? Okay. Now, a segment and a sector, there's 2 different things. The sector, okay, a sector is this whole thing. Okay, so this whole shaded area, all the way, that's a sector. So when you think of a piece of pie, that's a sector, okay, a sector of the information. So it's a section of the circle. And how do we know how big that section is? Based on what? The angle. Good. So if I want the area of a circle, of a sector, if I want the area of a sector, okay, what would I use? What would my equation be? Well, what's the area of a circle? Pi r squared. Now, but that's not it, because this is a fraction of the whole thing, correct? So it's a fraction. So what does that mean? What's a fraction mean? And how do I find a fraction? Okay, how do I find a fraction? Okay, what is that? A fraction is central angle. Now let me ask you a question. A whole circle has how many degrees? Somebody help me. What does a whole circle have? The whole circle has how many? 360. Good. So my fraction is central angle, which we're going to use the word theta, over 360. Theta over 360. So if this is 4, and I said find the area of my sector, you would do this. 50 over 360 pi and the radius, which is 4 squared. And then you cancel, okay? 0 and 0, okay? What is 4 times 4 is? 16. 16, so we have 5 over 36 pi 16. Can I cancel? I can cancel a little bit, right? So this is going to be 18, right? And this is going to be 8. And this is going to be 9, and this is going to be 4. 4 times 5 is 20 pi over what's left, 9. And there's your answer. So what you're looking for, this is the area of the sector. So this is your equation for area of a sector. All right. Okay. So the area of the sector is that. Any questions so far on area of a sector? Now, how do I find a segment? Well, what's a segment? So this is a sector, that's like a whole section. A segment is the crust, okay? It's the crust, and I'll show you what that means in a minute, the crust of a pie, okay? Okay, so watch carefully. So when I drew this line here, this, okay, this right here is a segment. That is segment. So what's a segment? So a segment is this area right here. So if I want the area of a segment, then I have to solve the area of the sector, which is this, and I have to subtract this triangle, okay? You subtract the triangle. So in order to find the segment, and I'll write it right here, you solve area of a sector, subtract minus the triangle. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay? So let's try it and do it again. So, for instance, if this is 4, what's this? 4. So my area of a triangle is what? Area of a triangle is 1/2 4 times 4. So that gives me what? 8. So your area of a sector for this section right here, segment, area of a segment for this section, it would be not 20 pi over 9 minus 8. And just leave it like that. You don't have to do any more work. You don't have to combine it and try to find a little thing. You just have to solve it that way and leave it in a big form. Okay? So, any questions? So when you're doing area, simple equation. When you're doing area of a sector, you are using this because you need a fraction. This is your fraction of the circle. Then you need the area of a segment. A segment is this little segment. It's the crust, right? It's the crust of our pie. And so you're going to solve for the whole segment sector subtract the triangle. So let's go ahead and practice one. We'll do another practice problem, okay? I'm gonna erase all this. We'll do another problem and then you guys can work on your homework, okay? Okay, so here we go. So if I have a circle, and this is, I'm not going to write in what it is. Okay. First off, what is the area of the circle? The whole area of the entire circle. So the area of the entire circle is going to be pi r, which is squared, right? So what is that going to be? Pi 7 squared. What is that going to give you? 7 times 7 is 49. So 49 pi. Okay, so there was the first one. So we have the area of the circle. There you go. Okay, now area of a sector. Remember, area of a sector is theta over 360 pi r squared. So really, it's this here. Not changing for this problem. But we need, what is our fraction? Our fraction is, what is the degree here? The degree is 90. Very good, 90. So 90 over 360 pi 7 squared, right? 0, 0 cancel. 9 goes into it 4 times. I'm left with 1/4. 1/4 times 49 pi, right? So my area of a sector is 49 pi over 4. Now, are we done? No, good. We want this little segment, remember, we want the crust. So what would the crust be? Well, what's my triangle? Area of a triangle is what? Area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, right? What's the base? 7. What's my height? 7. So 1/2. 7 times 7 is 49 and that over 2. Okay? So in order to get this, I have to have the whole thing, which is this, and subtract the triangle. So my final answer is 49 pi over 4 minus 49 over 2. And leave it like that. Any questions on how to find the area of a sector, or the area of a segment? So segment, sector, and this is area. All right, so you can, page 336, 1 through 30. Go ahead and give it a try, see how you do. Have a great time. We'll see you when I get back on Wednesday.